Delicious co-creators, Lilou here on the Juicy Living Tour in beautiful sunny Florida. Actually, we have Ocean Drive, the famous Ocean Drive with the Art Deco. I love this area. I used to live here full time, before starting traveling so much. I love it. It's such a beautiful area. You're from Sarasota.
I am from Sarasota, which is on the other coast. It's real quiet over there. That's the way I like it.
Yeah. But the weather is certainly awesome, and I'm excited to have this conversation with you. You're an A-House author. You wrote many books on your technique. You developed the Kinslow system, right? And the quantum
Entrainment,
and so many beautiful things that we're going to speak about. I know you're on the Sarasota and you travel the world. You go to, for all the Japanese people watching and then the German friends, you actually do a lot of your seminars and teaching out there. So, and that's where really it started, didn't it?
Yeah. It did start in Germany about 4 years ago, and now we're around the world, mostly throughout Europe. So we have we come over twice a year and have workshops. So there'll be something close by to someone.
Yeah. It's quite something. So you started as a chiropractor, but you had very much experience for many years already meditation. But here you have these techniques. Tell us about the core of your technique.
Well, the core is that there is no core. Probably the best way to look at it. If the world were somewhere that you or someplace in the world that you want to go, I'm saying that where you are is what you need to pay attention to. Then where you need to go after that will be made available for you. It's the idea that there is nowhere to go and nothing to do in terms of inner peace.
You had to go through major struggle and suffering kind of before nailing it down and starting to teach to others. Huh?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, starting from the age of 9 or 10, when I actually lived in Japan, I learned some esoteric techniques from my teacher, who was a judo teacher, but a pretty sharp fella, and he taught me how to work with anger and frustration in that, and how to quiet that down. And that was the beginning, the saying to myself, there's something more to life. I started to learn how to control, especially as an American, how to overpower things, and I was losing that easy flow of childhood where you're just in the moment. And adulthood, to me, is bringing the two together, allowing the abstract world of the present. It's actually quite real too, but it has that abstract aspect to it, allowing that to radiate in our awareness right here, right now. And so over the years, I went after it. I said, I'm going to become enlightened. I'm going to be in inner peace. And so I did. I chased after it for almost 40 years. And then one day I just said, I'm tired of this. I've had great experiences. I learned how to hobnob with the angels and disincarnate masters and healing techniques and all kinds of really flashy things. But I didn't feel any more inner peace by doing those. It was more ego. Hey, look what I can do. I can talk to an angel. But in essence, that it really didn't have the fullness that I was looking for. So there came a point in my life where I said, that's it. I'm tired of going through all of this. I spent literally years in secluded, silent meditation. I had a daily activity of 2.5 hours meditation. That's every day. And at age 61, I was feeling, afraid. I was worried about money. All these non-spiritual things, and I'm saying, what's wrong with me? And so then I just went through a process of throwing things out that didn't work from my own experience. And it was a process. Once I started, it just took on a life of its own, and very quickly I realized that nothing works. Nothing works. Because every time we create a goal, we're saying where I am is not good enough. But when I get to that goal, I'm going to have it. Whether it's more money or more spiritual insight. No. Right here, right now is all we need.
But it's different than when we hear Eckhart Tolle say, you know, the present, the power of now. This is different.
Well, it's basically the same. What's different is that I just cognized this way to do it immediately, rather than trying to tell ourselves, oh, this is a good philosophy, I'm going to work along these lines, I'm going to live in the now, you know. Well, how do you do that?
How do you do that?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you do it by not doing. Think of it this way. What is the now? The now is right here, right now. It really, you have a past, you have a now, and you have a future. But if you eliminate the future and the past, you don't have a now. Everything just is. You see? And that is non-movement. Now, this is non-movement is another way to say that is stillness or peace. Non-movement is peace. I finally got it. If I stop moving, now wait a minute, everything in life is moving. You can't get out of activity. But from a perceptual standpoint, if you can see the non-moving within the moving, that's it, you're done. And so I perceived one day sitting on my couch, wondering, you know, why am I suffering? Why have I suffered all my life? You know, suffered, I don't mean like, oh, tote that barge. Just like every human being. You know, we have our ups and downs, but I never seemed to get and hold on to what I wanted. That's not the idea. You can't hold on to nothing. If nothing is the answer, then you simply perceive it. And so that's it. This whole technique takes just a few seconds to learn.
And why do you say it's healing? Because you say it's healing and you teach it and there are seminars and all that. So does that mean we heal part of our body or what needs to be healed from our childhood, or is just it naturally goes away? What's up with the healing work?
Well, healing, what is the universal healer? Rest, right? In every prescription, whether it's a broken heart or a broken knee, no, rest is always part of the prescription for healing. The principle is the deeper the rest, the deeper the healing. Now, when we do QE, this is the technique that I cognized, that rest is deeper than even deep sleep. Now, this is based on some research done by Robert Keith Wallace. And what that means is that rest, another word for rest is stillness. If you have absolute rest, you have absolute stillness, and we already know stillness is peace. So we already create infinite harmony right there. So that what happens is if we have a distortion in our body, if it should be like this and it's like this, okay? When we experience rest, deep peace, love, joy, bliss, okay? That's harmonizing. We don't have to do anything. The body knows how to heal. When we do that, it's like dipping in, becomes completely harmonious, and then we reorganize in the way we should be. And so we don't have to say, okay, I'm going to put healing into my shoulder, I'm going to put healing into my family member or my pet, which, by the way, it works for everyone. I am simply going to experience this joy within me, which is easily attainable, instantly attainable. I'm going to enjoy that peace and joy and love and do nothing else. And like a vibrating tuning fork, the waves move out, and all that is around us will start to resonate in that same healing power.
I like the idea of the creation, this creation going through a prism and then, going into multiple color. It's kind of, okay, whatever happens to us or whatever's going on, we can act as a filter or something, and then something even greater can come out. Or is there some of that?
The best reflector of purity is purity. So if you want to reflect harmony and joy, you can't be a dirty window, right? You must be clean. Yeah. So a dirty window in this case would be filled with thoughts and emotions. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to do that. Okay. What we do is...
It's going to happen.
Yes, exactly. So what we do is we stop. When we stop, the mind clears, and then it reorganizes. Now we have this clear reflection that comes through. Our inner essence, which has been with us, I mean, for whatever. It's unbounded, so you can't take it away. You can't add to it either. It just is. Realization of that, perceiving that, creates inner harmony of incredible strength and power. Incredible harmonizing power just by perceiving. Now, that may sound a little abstract, so let me give you an example. You, or you listeners, have everything you need to heal at a great level right now, simply by shifting your perception from where it is to this inner joy and harmony. You say, well, I've tried to do that, I tried to do this, I did this technique, I did that, right? I went to that workshop and then that one and that one, right? Now the word here, try, what's that mean? That means to do something. Try is activity. What are we talking about? Stillness. So we stop trying. Well, how do I stop? I tried to stop trying. I tried to clear my mind. Well, that's the joy of this technique. It's so simple. And it's based on this principle. If you were to see, for instance, if a dog were hit in the street right here, and you were to look at it, you were to perceive it, immediately your body would go through some changes. You know, your diaphragm contract, the heart would start beating, the blood gases would change, and your mind would have a likewise reflection. And so you'd have these negative thoughts, maybe fear, anger, adrenaline be shooting. Okay. Now how did you do that? What did you do to make that happen? Nothing. It's automatic. Now, take that perception and look at a sunset. All right? Now what happens? Well, the opposite. The joy and the fullness that comes from just perceiving the sunset in the mind and the body are just as automatic, because you have everything there simply by perceiving it. And what I discovered was an area which I call, you know, we have the heart, the joy and the love and the things that would compassion and all of that. Well, I found the heart of the heart. I gave it a name. I call it you feeling. It's just a name. Everyone has it. It's there. And you can perceive it just as simply as shifting your awareness from looking at one object to looking at another. And once you learn which direction to look, for instance, let's say, Lilou, you are looking over here for inner peace. And Frank says, look that way and see what you see. You turn around. Now, what did I do? I simply pointed you in the right direction. What did you have to learn? What did you have to do to make that happen? Nothing. So this inner essence is so simple, so easy. I'm amazed that we just don't do it naturally. Well, it is natural, but we're actually, as kids, we do it. But then we're taught, we believe our teachers and our parents and even our peers when they say, well, you're going to start controlling the world if you want to get what you want. We already have what we need.
Can you back up scientifically such a method?
Oh, yes. Now, we're so new. I mean, we've only been around for about 4 years. But we've had pretty remarkable changes clinically. And we have a lot of physicians, a lot of psychologists who do QE. For instance, if you have blood sugar problems, maybe diabetes, you can take your blood sugar before and after a QE session, and you'll see it normalize. Blood pressure, any of those parameters. Now, the experience itself, I alluded to Dr. Robert Keith Wallace a little bit earlier. He found that this experience is actually deeper than deep sleep in terms of rest. So it's going to give us a deeper healing, a more harmonizing healing. Of course,
But it happened in an instant.
Oh, it does. It happens in, well, how long did it take your body to change when you saw the dog hit? Right? Boom, you're right there. It's that fast. And so healing begins instantly, and it continues. Actually, even after a session of 2 or 3 minutes, if you were to stop, it still continues for days afterwards. And so we get, it's pretty amazing. We had a person that had been in a wheelchair, could not move except for the head. Hands and feet could not move for, I think, 15 years. This was in Italy. And I had a person come to my workshop in Italy that had just read the book. And they did the technique from what they read in the book. And after 7 sessions of about 3 or 4 minutes, the woman moved her hands and feet like this. And then, but after the first session, her depression lifted. Now, he does more, I think 15 sessions, and now the woman gets up and takes care of her own bodily functions, you know. And this. Now, did we discover, the technique to eliminate people who are in wheelchairs and can't move? No. But in this instance, what the woman needed was this harmony, this rest. And he didn't do anything to her. He simply experienced his own inner joy. And us humans are made to share that. Not on a conscious level. We don't have to make it happen. Oh, I'm going to have happy thoughts. No, they come naturally when you experience happiness. You know, when you feel good, everybody knows it.
Yeah, this is like right now there's abundance of segues that are going through, passing us by. And it seems like once we shift that, as you said, this perception or healing, or we see it everywhere. It's just part of us. It's us. It's there. That's
right. That's right. There's nowhere to go and nothing to do. If nothing means no boundaries. Nothing has to be everywhere all the time. In quantum mechanics, Bohm called this field of nothing implicate order. It was the infolding of all of creation before creation started, and then it takes form. Well, that's basically what we can perceive as human beings. Our perception is very acute. We can experience no form. We call that pure awareness. And then we can see it come, like a prism. You know, when you shine pure light into a prism, it breaks up into orange, indigo, violet, yellow, and so on. When you put pure awareness into the prism of this essence that everyone has, it breaks up into the colors of peace and joy and love and bliss. And then it breaks up even further and takes form into things of creation. So a palm tree is your essence. When you realize your essence in a palm tree, now what you realize is I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to climb the palm tree. I don't have to eat the coconut. I'm just realizing that I am the palm tree. I'm at peace. What a beautiful realization that everything is me. But
that's unity?
That's unity. And that's not a theory. That's not some emotional thing that we want to believe in, okay? That's a direct perception. And the people in our workshops, within a half a day to a full day, will start to have this perception. Certainly by the second day of the workshop, it's a phenomenon that the group experiences. Remarkable experience. Very human, very natural.
How do you define a miracle?
Oh, well, we wouldn't have a miracle in this case, would we? I mean, a miracle is only something that seems to be beyond our belief, something that's out of the ordinary. And to someone who is struggling and suffering, for them to see a unity, they would say that's a miracle. But for someone who has it all every day, they would just say either there are no miracles or everything is a miracle. You can't have it both ways unless, of course, you're suffering.
Is there a spot for God in such a conversation?
Well, first of all, you have to define God. You know, how many definitions are there for God? And we could say that God has qualities. Well, if God has qualities, then it couldn't, the unbounded couldn't be God. God must have form. If we say God is the creator, then the creator doesn't exist until the creation, because creator has creation. So if there's no creation, there's no creator. See? So there's another form of God. Or we could say God is just infinite harmony. Well, you know, you can't define something that's, well, infinite harmony, yes, but unbounded, something that's unbounded, has no boundaries. That means, how can you define it? The mind can't grab onto something that with no boundaries. So God is a very sticky thing. Yes, the short answer is yes, but how it fits into your definition of God, you will have to do that for yourself. Once you have the experience, then you'll know right away. Oh, yeah, sure. Why didn't I see that before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this conversation. Thank you for having, showing up from Sarasota and saying yes to this. I love to have those conversations from the heart right here. And in such a beautiful setting. Oh my goodness.
It is beautiful, for sure.
Thank you. I look forward to reading your books. Thank you so much, my delicious co-creators. We send you so much love wherever you are in the world. My goodness, this is Miami, Florida, on Ocean Drive. I'm with Frank. Kinslow, right?
Kinslow, exactly.
The Kinslow system that you have created. Thank you so much. Big kisses.